Greetings from Junior Linux Users Group NIT Durgapur. Let's start our second day of Hack Me. Yesterday we have done setting up with our project and also did API fetching for code forces. Today we will be working on the web scraping and mail sending. So yesterday we have done this API fetching. Today we see how this web scraping will work and this email sending is work. So what is web scraping? So web scraping is a process of using a program to extract data from website. That means we will extract data from website by our Python program. So it's a way to collect specific information automatically from web pages for various purposes. Like we want to get a specific information from a particular website, then we apply this web scraping for those. Okay, so let's get back to our code. You can see my environment is activated. So now let's make a file that is okay. Let's make a file. You can name anything. I'm naming http 1.9. Okay, so for this we have already installed our request library here. So we need one more library that is called bs4. So let us install it. Let's install this. So bs4 is installed. So now let's start writing our code. At first I will import requests, then from bs4 we are importing beautiful. So okay, so now for this web scraping we are using devfolio hackathon website. So let's paste our url here. What is our url is http://devfolio hackathon. Let's paste our url here, and then response is equal to request.get url. So this is to make a get request on this website. Now we want to store our response in this HTML doc. Okay, so let me print this once. So you can see the full website is pasted here. Okay, so now what we are going to do, we are going to pass this. So let me write so equals to beautiful. So passing our this doc, HTML doc, and is this text, and then telling my parser to parse it in HTML. So that's we need to write HTML dot parser. Okay, so now if I run this again, actually can't say this in the terminal, but if we save this in a file, then you can see. Okay, so actually it is parsed in HTML. So let's move. So now what we're going to do, so now our get request is done to this website and we are getting the response, the full HTML response here, and we parsed it. So now we want to we want these hackathons, like these are some are opens, some are upcoming. So we want to capture the full divisions, right? So there is a section, like you need to find it manually. So if I go to this and go to this devfolio, then you can see that there is multiple, so let us take this. You can see this division is taking up the full section, right? If I copy this class, okay, let me copy this one and paste it here. You can see that this class is like, this part is for this division, so it is taking a section here. Like this is the open section, this is the taking up the full upcoming section, and this is taking up the whole past section. So you just need to find the class that is taking up the section, and then need to paste it here. So let us make this as our parent division. So parent division is so dot find all. Means we want to take up the whole section that is using this. You have seen that it is using this open section and this section and this section and this section, and also that upcoming section is also using this class. So we want to capture the whole section. So we want to capture the section part of this class, and you can see that here is the class for the section. Okay, so let me make the name is FNPHXW. Copy this class and paste it here. So here we captured the whole section. Now we will write a for loop. Okay, before writing the for loop, let's define some array, like as we did here in the code forces, is empty arrays to hold our data, names, line links, we'll let you know for this variable in later part. We have used it for something else, like for modification of our dates or something else. So let's write our for loop here. For now, this is the parent div, so we want to capture a child div from here. So let's write here from child divs in parent div now we want to capture a single hackathons from this, like this one or this one, like this single part and this single part. For this we are writing this is, so let me show you the class. So if I paste the class here, you can see I'm getting one single division. Okay, see, like I'm getting a full division here, right? So you need to check it manually, like which division, like which part is using which class. Okay, so you can see that this is taking this full part, this part is taking this part. Okay, so now our one child is captured. Now we'll another for loop. We will use another for loop Yes. So we will capture the heading that is upcoming. So heading is equal to child debs dot find, okay, dot find. You can say heading is in our h2. Okay, so if I take it here, this upcoming heading, okay, you can say this is our h2 class. So we will capture that h2 part, h2, and class name only for this jph. Okay, so let me show you the class name. You can see this is the for the heading like open or upcoming or past, right? So now we have got the upcoming. So for taking up the upcoming, we need to put a check here. So if heading dot text is equal to okay, my bad, upcoming, then we will take the information from there like name. Okay, so I've done writing with the code. So you can see I've written some class here. Okay, so as I have checked these classes, you can do for these other classes also. Okay, so if I copy one class and let you see here, you can see that this class is for the name. Okay, we're getting the name here, so you can check it for the other classes also. So let's append these things here. Okay, so for this link part we need to do one more thing, that is we just need to stringify our link to get the only link from this. So link dot get only to take up the link for this. Okay, so same for the themes dot append theme, same modes dot append mode, and now the date from scraping. So that's from scraping dot append date. Okay, so now let's print all these things and let us see what we're getting, what output we're getting. So print names, print apply only for, let's check for only two. Okay, so python h2.5. Okay, so as you can see there are two upcoming hackathons, that is preference and nexus egg. So you can see those names are printed here in our array, and their applying links are also available here. So let's print other things also, that is print themes, print modes, Let's transfer. Okay, so let us check. Okay, so you can see this which one is offline, which one is online, which one opens on, and which time. Right, so our web scraping is done here. We will move to the next part, that is the mailer part. Okay, so this is our next phase. Let's start with setting up our email for the mailing purpose. So at first what you need to do, you can create a demo account or you can go with any account you want, and then go to your manage Google account option and then go to the security. After that option, go to the two-step verification option. Once you get there, initially it is turned off, you just need to turn it on, and after that just go for the get started. After that, if you go to the get started, then all the way go down to the app password, and after that it will ask you to enter the name of the project, or you can put any name project you want. So like here we put Python mailer. After that you will get a password. This is a 16-digit password which is different from your actual email password. You have to create this password for your mailing. Okay, so let's start. So you have to put your sender email ID here and your password here and your API token here. Like we have like I created .amy.example. My all the information are saved there, but I can't show you this file. So you just put sender here in .env file, then password and then API token. Okay, but in .env file I'm showing you .env.example for the security reasons. Okay, so now let's make our mailer file. Okay, so for mailing we are using SMTP library of Python. SMTP stands for Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. It is a protocol which handles sending email and routing email between mail servers. So let's import it. Import SMTP library. Okay, after that we will import from email dot text import this object. We will use this object to to set our message body of the mail. So now let's write the function of our sending email. So now let's define a function here which is send mail. We will take two input here. One is the index and another is the mail. We'll explain later why we are taking these two inputs here. We will also import this code forces file here because we have stored all the values are in these global variables. Now we want to access these global variables in our code forces mails file because we will send this information in our mail. So I will import here our code forces file. So import code forces. Okay, now name is stringify all the things. Code forces dot names. We will pass the index here. Same for the phase str. Same for the date. Then we write down the body here. You can customize your mail body as you want. I'm just keeping it simple. Now we will define an object here to send this using name text. We will take the body and set it to a plain text. Okay, then we need to set our receiver. That mail we take an input here. We will use here receiver is this mail. Which mail are we going to give the input? Then I will put a message subject here. As a subject we will take from the code forces itself. Okay, then I will set the server smtp library dot smtp. Then we have to give our Gmail configuration like smtp.gmail.com. Then we need to give the port number. It is default 587. Then we need to connect the server to server dot start tutorials. Then we will log into the mail server dot login. Here we will use these two things like sender and password. So what we're going to do, okay, so for this I need to import my decouple here. So from decouple import config, as the same way we did this here, we will do here. So login config and the same variable name that we put in here we will give here. Oops. Okay, then config to provide password. So password. Then okay, so our login is done here. Then we will say server dot send mail. Now we need to put here with the sender. Send the sender, and then we need to put the receiver. Message receiver, or this receiver that we defined here. We will put this object here. Message receiver, then message dot string. It will send our message body as string. Then after all these things happen, we will put print mail sent. Then we will quit the server. So this function is completed, our send mail function. We just need to write one more function, and that function is the scheduling function, like which will schedule this mail, as we have not put any time here. So we will schedule the mail. So this will be our next part. So as we write the send mail function for the code forces, you can easily write for the same function for the hackathon. There is nothing much changes in these two functions. These two functions are almost similar. There is, you can say that sender, password, sender, receiver, all the things are same, just the changes in the global variable names that we put here. Okay, so now we will write the scheduler function. So to write the scheduler function, we need to modify our code forces file. So as you can see that duration is in seconds, so I divided it by 3600, which is 1 hour time, so that we can get the exact time, exact hour for our contest. Okay, so now modify this timestamp. So if I print this start timestamp, let me show you what we are getting printed. Okay, so you can see that we are getting a Unix timestamp, right? But we can't use this Unix timestamp, so we need to modify it. So I will import time here, time, then we will write here a modification, that is dt is equal to date time. Okay, it is saying date time is not defined here. So does import date time here. Now dt is equal to date time dot date time dot from timestamp. Let's put our timestamp here. And now let's uncomment this line. This count is for comment the dates. Print the dates. Now print our dates. Okay, so let me clear my terminal, print it again. Okay, so you can see that we are getting the date time format, date time. Now we can play with it. So let's get back to our mails. I will write our scheduler function. Okay, so let's start writing our scheduler function. Define code forces mailer. Okay, here at first we will import our dates. So contest dates will code forces dot dates. This is these dates that we printed here. Okay, so now code forces dot dates. Now what we need to do, we will apply a logic here, because you see that it is on the 25th of November 2023. We want to send mail like 2 days before or 3 days before, so we need to check. So for this, at first let me import two things. Import time, and from date time import date time and time delta. Okay, so let me write the logic at first, then I will make you explain. Okay, so let me explain now. So this is our code forces mailer function, which will take mail as input. Now we are saving our dates array in contest dates array, then that is today's time. What is today's time? We are taking today's time and replacing the hour by 20 minutes and 5 minutes. Why? Because if I run the code forces file, you can see that this is 25 okay, 25. So that means it is time is 20 and 5. So we are minusing the time so that we can get the exact 2 days before. So like if there are, now currently we are having only one contest. So if there are 3 contests, like in 11th and 25th November, 27th November and 29th November, and you want to set on the 23rd November. So this function so this thing will help us to check which is 2 days after. Like if 23rd is today, then 25th it will send the mail of, that is, it will send the contest of the 25th of November. Okay, so we have taken up 2 days time. Now what we are going to do, we are going to iterate in the contest dates array. What we will check, we will check, like for this I have set is at 16 because it's event in 25th and today is 9th. So we will check that we will check for today now. Like if I set is for 2 days, then we have to wait till 23rd of November to check our code is running or not. So for this reason I have set it to day 16. Okay, so for the actual it will be set it to 2. So we will check if this thing is matching for today or not. If today is matched minus of 2 days of this time, then we will enter into this if statement. What this will do, this will minus this much amount of time. Like we want to send the mail 24 hours ago, so we'll set this time accordingly to it, and then we will stringify the time. Like it will send the time like this, 25. We will only take this much amount of time, only hour and minute. Then we will pass this time to our mail scheduler time, and after that we get the mail, and we will check this function for every 1 second if the time is matching or not. Okay, so I did a bit of mistake here. Now it's good. Okay, so let's check the function is running or not. So to check this, we need to do some more things. Like, so let's write the function, running function here. So this is code process mailer. Let me pass my mail, put my mail here. It's the receiver mail. Okay, so what is the receiver mail? Copy and paste it from here. Okay, so now let's run this file and check when it's going to print. Let's make it 30. So let's run this file. So it will send a 35. It's 34. So we need to wait 1 minute to check if it's mail sending or not. So till then, let me explain one more thing, that you will add microsecond here. Okay, if it's not added, then might not this function work properly. So add microsecond equal to 0 also here. Okay, so let's solve the things, have same thing. You can also do the same thing for this hackathon. This function, this logic will be same for the hackathon. Just you need to replace this our 20 to 00. Because in hackathon, as this function start from 8:5, it will not be started from 8:5, it will start from the particular day. Okay, so now you can see it is printed here that mail sent successfully. So let us check in our here. Okay, so you can see the mail is sent. Code turnaround Samsung. It's just 2 minutes ago we got the mail. That is, the mail is sent properly. Okay, so now his last thing is to integrate those two files in a single file. These are code forces mailer. Meanwhile, in the time I have also written this one, this hackathon file. If any of you want this, I will send the GitHub. Okay, so you can check this out also here. So let's make a main.py here to integrate those two files. For this, let us import those two mailers files, that is mailer hkt. Okay, so we need to import function. So from mails hkt import hackathon mailer, and from mails cf import code forces mailer. Okay, now we will take the mail id as input, is input, right, enter your Gmail ID. As this SMTP library and our mailer is only available for Gmail, so we have to put one check for this Gmail. So define is valid, then we pass mail ID here, and then pattern is gmail.com, then if RE. Okay, so we need to import RE here. This is a regular expression. So RE dot search pattern in mail ID. Okay, search pattern in mail ID. If you get it, then return true. If you don't get it, then return false. Okay, now if is valid mail ID is true, then we will take choice is integer input, integer input, and we'll write a message here like for code forces phase 1 for hackathons phase 2 for both phase 3. Okay, after I get the input, we will check if choice is equals to 1, then we will run code forces mailer and we'll pass the mail ID. I need to copy it 3 times. For that 2, we will run hackathon mailer, and for the 3rd, we will run the both. Okay, or if this not happen, we will put one else here, else then again invalid number. If this not help, let's put one else here, that is invalid. Okay, so from this file, if you run this file, then you will get to enter your Gmail ID. Then this file will check it's a Gmail or not. After that, it will call those functions that I need. Like if you go to the code forces mailer, this will be our this mailing function, and if you put for the hackathon mailer, this will call our mailer function, right? So it's up to user what you want to choose. If you want to for both, if you want to for not. So just one thing you need to change, just make it for day 2. This is perfect. Let's make it for day 2 and 12 hours before, make it 30. Okay, for this same also do the same thing, it's already set it. So 2 days, which is for 8 hours and 0 minutes. So now your full project is set for 2 days ago, like it will send you reminders for hackathons before 2 days, and for the code force it will also send before 2 days and 12 hours ago, and for hackathon it will send you 2 days 8 hours ago. Okay, so our project is end up here. So thank you everyone for watching.